What's good, y'all? What's good? It's your boy Mike Sears, Speaking Clout Podcast. And tonight, I'm reviewing an album that dropped October 2nd, this past Friday. I'm talking about Griselda's own Westside Gunn, the Shady Records debut, Who Made the Sunshine. Now, we all know that Westside Gunn had released two projects prior to his Shady Records debut, Who Made the Sunshine. Earlier in the year, I think it was around March or April. Pray for Paris, which in my opinion is a 5 mic album. I love that album so much. Great album. I reviewed it. It's on the channel. Secondly, he released Fly God is an Awesome God 2 sometime in the summer. I'm not precise on the month, but I remember it dropping in the summertime. That particular project, I like only a couple tracks, and I'll be honest, like, when it comes to Griselda records, they barely disappoint me. I mean, barely. The only album I really dislike is Boldy James, the Versace tape, and it's not because of Boldy James at all. Boldy James to me is a fantastic MC. It's the production by Jay Versace. I don't like that production at all. But yeah, Fly God is an Awesome God 2. Had some joints. All the joints with Stove God Cooks is immaculate. Jose Canseco, Boba Chuck, all immaculate, right? But it was the production. It was too lackadaisical for me. Too, you know, boring for me. You know what I mean? But there's songs I like on there. Well, he came back with the third project of the year, his debut Shady Records album, Who Made the Sunshine. And let me tell you, folks, in my personal opinion, I capitalized personal opinion, it did not disappoint at all. You know what I mean? Westside Gunn right now is my third favorite rapper. You know, I love Westside Gunn. He's actually one of my favorite rappers of all time because when I got on the Griselda wave in late 2015, them niggas made me feel like I was 12 years old again, listening to Wu-Tang Forever on the bus. You know what I'm saying? The Reject 2s, the Fly Gods, the Harlan Nashes, the Griselda Ghosts, the Don't Get Scared Now. All that shit early on just made a nigga feel like, man, these niggas is like really giving me that feel. You know what I mean? Like, they are honestly my second favorite crew of all time after Wu-Tang Clan. Anyone that knows me, they know that Wu-Tang Clan is my favorite music, period. You know what I mean? The affiliates included. But, yeah, after boot camp, you know, I mean, before Griselda came, it was boot camp, you know what I mean? But now it's Griselda as my second favorite instead of boot camp click, you know what I mean? But boot camp is my third favorite, you feel me? Like, Griselda really took over, in my opinion, for that spot. With that being said, man, let's get to the review. Westside Gunn, Who Made the Sunshine, man. I was so excited for this album, and to me, like I said, it didn't disappoint. So, we get the Sunshine intro featuring A.A. Rashad, or Rashid. Dope beat by Derringer and Beat Butcher, with A.A. Rashid explaining about the sun, the moon, and God. I'm not a fan of intros like this per se, but I like A.A. Rashad, man, or Rashid. Reminds me of Papa Wu. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of that, like that on Iron Man. You guys get to Papa Wu talking. That long, unnecessary skit on Wu-Tang Forever. You know what I'm saying? Is on there. But, yeah, A.A. Rashid does his thing. Um, I'm not going to listen to it again. I always skip it now. When I first heard the album, I listen to it. You know what I mean? And, good intro. Not much to say about an intro. But shout out to A.A. Rashid, man. He's on that 5% shit. Shout out to him. Next, we got The Butcher and the Blade, featuring Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine. His Griselda cohorts. And this track right here is absolute flames. I love this track. A lot of niggas like, yo, that sounds like motherfucking George Bondo. The beat, you know what I mean? And to me personally, I don't really hear it. You know what I mean? I'm being honest. It may have similar drums or whatever the fuck, but the shit is hard as fuck. I could give a fuck about that dumb shit. I think it's amazing, in my personal opinion. You know, and all three of them come through, man. All three of them niggas come through. Um, I really like this track right here. It's fucking crazy. Beat Butcher and Damage did the production on that. I think it's crazy, man. I think it's a really dope track. Word on the streets, Fly God got that mean dope. Fire out the nozzle, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Like, the nigga West was floating all over this. I love when Conway said, bitches think I'm vegetarian, there's carrots on my neck. Fire. You know what I mean? That shit was ill. Conway scorched that shit. Then Benny comes through with, bitches think I'm vegetarian. I mean, that was Conway, my bad. Benny says, yeah, I'm made in my hood, nigga. Treat me like Lefty. Ill line. Ill line. And then he was like, the ops get it in 2 days or less like Amazon Prime. That Amazon Prime line had me rewinding that shit. Back when niggas would make you rewind shit. Like Pun, Big L, Lord Finesse. You feel me? That rewind button. Shit, man. Absolutely incredible song. The Blade and the Butcher. Damager and Beat Butcher did that motherfucking thing. Dope track. I'm feeling that track. Every time Benny, Conway, and West get together, it's always a fucking problem. Always. You know what I mean? Every track they got together, I worship them, man. So, when them niggas are in the fucking booth, it's a problem. So, next we get Ishkabibbles featuring Black Thought. That is a Philly steak joint out in Philly. Black Thought being from Philly. And, nigga, this shit is crazy. It's another thing niggas be singing on Twitter. Twitter is like a fucking hellhole. You know what I mean? Hip hop Twitter is a fucking problem, and not in a good way. I can't stand it. A lot of these niggas, if you have an opinion, they're being your message, trying to change your mind about shit. It's like, yo, my nigga, there's 1,000 other albums to listen to. My opinion on a certain record doesn't affect your life. Fuck out of here. Completely out of here, my nigga. You feel me? Please. So, Black Thought, bruh. He scorched this shit. Westside scorched it, in my opinion. But Black Thought, when he said Heron could cop a fake rhyme, but he pushing neon. This coke will knock the face off the Sphinx like Leon. Fire. Fire. I think that shit was amazing. Like, yo, fucking Black Thought scorched that shit. Dope ass track. I'm fucking with Ishkabibbles, man. Ishkabibbles is ill. Dope track from Westside Gunn featuring Black Thought. Love that track. And I think West don't get his credit for being lyrical. You know what I mean? He doesn't. And he scorched this shit. Black Thought had the better verse, I would say. But still, West stood toe to toe with Thought, man. It's produced by Beat Butcher and Derringer. Shit is hard. Love that shit. Now, you get to a track niggas be hating on. I love it. All praises featuring Boldy James and Jadakiss. It was nice to see Boldy on Alchemist production again because, that fucking horrible the Versace tape album, which Boldy deserved a better Griselda debut, in my personal opinion. But it was nice to hear him on the Alchemist again, and it's fucking amazing. Alchemist killed his beat. Westside Gunn said he's happy that he got Alchemist to do the drops. The Alchemist, that shit right there. And I haven't heard that since '04. Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? But West wanted to put that in there, and all praises is fire, man. Featuring Boldy James and Jadakiss, man. It's dope as hell. I love this shit. Westside Gunn is not on he don't have a verse, which he should have, but it don't bother me fully. But I love the chorus is dope, you know. Boldy did his thing, definitely. and Jadakiss did his fucking thing. He did his thing. Nigga was like, COVID-19 is the stamp on the dope now. That shit, that shit is hard. You know, he killed that shit. Great verse from Jadakiss, man. Jada's that dude. What I like about Jada, like he is amazing on features, but he ain't made a good album since fucking Kiss of Death, I would say. Kiss Again Goodbye, I worship. But yeah, to me, Jadakiss has a classic in that. Kiss Again Goodbye in '01. But yeah, man, All Praises featuring Boldy James and Jadakiss, produced by The Alchemist, is amazing. Um, Now we get the track Big Bashes, produced by Beat Butcher and Derringer. Shit is fire. Big Bashes is a store in Buffalo. Um, I think this shit is amazing. Dope ass beat from Beat Butcher and Damager. It's one of them short tracks, but West does his motherfucking thing. Um, Big fan of that song, even though it's short. It's dope. Now you move on to one of my favorite tracks on the album, man. I love this shit. Niggas is hating on this hard. I don't give a fuck. Liz Loves Luger, produced by The Alchemist, featuring Amani Caesar. Now, Amani Caesar is fucking hated within the Griselda community for the most part. I see niggas fucking with her shit, which is good. I like the Liz. Maybe I'll review the Liz, her album. You know what I mean? But she sang her heart out on here. So elegant. Her voice is amazing. She killed that shit, you know? I love the motherfucking chorus on that. It's amazing. I love it, you know? And this reminds me, a lot of niggas are like disgusted by this verse from West, saying it's absolute trash and stuff like that. Nigga, get some pussy and maybe you'll like it. It reminds me of Stapleton Sex, Ghostface Killer off the Ghostdini album. You know, West is like, come here, bitch. You know, he says that on like every fucking love song he does. You know, he killed that shit, man. He's like, I spit in your face and open your mouth wide, choked you hard cause you my bitch, you know? He does the fucking, like the hawking emoji when you're about to spit a loogie at a bitch or something, like, you know, he did that shit, you know? Got me fucking from the back with my foot on your neck. I got your shit clapping. Fly God's little hole, you look so beautiful. Like, dog, I love that shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, you know? Dope track, one of my favorites on the album. It's wavy shit, bruh. I'm fucking with it. I like that shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Liz Loves Luger, dope in my book. Then we get Ocean Prime featuring Busta Rhymes and Slick Rick. Man, produced by Beat Butcher and Derringer. I think this track is dope as fuck. Big fan of this track. It's ill. The beat is ill. Fucking Slick Rick sounds fresh. Like it's 1999 on the Artist Storytelling album or some shit, you know? Um, West comes through, dope ass verse. I love the line when he said, you hit everything to show you positive, nobody lives. 95 Undertaker in the Prada trench. Oh, that's fucking ill. You know, when Taker had the purple gloves and shit, you know, for my wrestling heads out there. Busta Rhymes come through with a dope ass, like, cocaine filled fucking verse. Shit is ill. You know, I'm a big Busta Rhymes fan too. I already said that on this channel many a times. Like his first four albums are fucking classics to me. And then Slick Rick, he comes through. Short and sweet, but it's fire. It's a fire verse to me. You know, dope ass lineup too, West, to pick. You know, Slick Rick and Busta to feature on your record. I thought that shit was ill. Next we get Lefty featuring Keisha Plum. Again, produced by Beat Butcher and Derringer. I think this shit is ill. Short but sweet, dope track. Um, West came through with, you know, the wrestling bars. Slammed the stove like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yo, he said, yo, the kick on the Mac like Aleister Black. You know, Aleister Black does those kicks. I don't follow modern wrestling that much, but I know Aleister Black because I was a big NXT fan. You know what I mean? When he was over there. But, you know, West did his thing. Keisha Plum with the dope fly poetry as always. You know what I mean? I'm the ghetto Diana Ross. He's the hood Billy D. Um, Fly shit like she always does. Shout out to Keisha Plum. Leslie is a dope track. I got no problems with Leslie. And then we get Jesus Christ. This shit is amazing. Frank Murphy featuring El Camino, Esty Knack, Flea Lord, Smoke Dizza, and Stove God Cooks. Dog. The beat is by Conductor Williams. And this shit is crazy. You know. My favorite verse in the whole track, Stove God Cooks. That Stovey's home, I spent keys to gold. So ran rap on the floor, been ripping them like Bruce Bowen. The young boy got the pole. Stock went up though. Hard shit. Um, my favorite line, you know, followed him up, followed him home and ran him up the steps like Stallone. Fire shit with the Uzi, back to catch the shells like Julio Jones. My plug looked like Razor Ramon. My plug looked like Razor Ramon. Nigga, that shit is fire. Razor Ramon is in my top 5 wrestlers of all time. Big Scott Hall Mark. And that line was fucking insane. Like, Stove God bodied that shit. ST Nat comes through. I like ST Nat. He's the Dominican nigga from Lynn, Massachusetts, around my area. Shout out to fucking ST Nat. He was on Hitler 7. Dope shit on there. He came through. El Camino. El Camino said on Twitter, he said, man, we were dumping on Frank Murphy. And I agree with him. Like, them niggas were killing shit on that. You know? Flea just killed shit. But Camino, his verse, when he was like, my little Puerto Rican bitch will give you a long kiss goodnight. Will give you a kiss goodnight. That shit was fire. Flea Lord came through with some dope shit. Smoke Dizza, he came through with a dope verse. I think Smoke Dizza had an ill verse. Um, Big Smoke Dizza fan. All the ringside EPs he did and shit, like he releases that like the day of WrestleMania or whatever. But yeah, that he's like I still get emotional when I hear Nip verses and shit. That was fire. Westside Gunn, my nigga Westside Gunn came through with a fire verse. He ended it off. Hey yo, the K shooter, it'll spray in your face like Great Muda. Like my niggas, my wrestling niggas know that Great Muda spits the fucking the mist, the green mist out. You know what I mean? Big late NWA / WCW fan around the time when Muda was running shit, and the shit was fire. If I had a critique on fucking Frank Murphy, it would be that the beat's kind of repetitive. You know what I mean? If they gave each MC their own shit, their own verse, like kind of like the homie Resin. Shout out to my nigga Resin. He said kind of like I'm the man off Daily Operations, shit like that. You know what I mean? It would have been better, but still dope as fuck. Good Night featuring Slick Rick, produced by Beat Butcher and Damager. This shit is fire. Westside Gunn telling the story of him getting robbed, then he gets his shit back. Dope storytelling from Westside Gunn. And Slick Rick comes through again with the longer verse. Fire than he had from the Ocean Prime track. But yo, that Good Night shit is amazing. I fucks with it. Dope ass track. And then we get 98 Savers featuring Amani Caesar, Benny the Butcher, and Conway the Machine, produced by Just Blaze. Nigga. They do that DJ Shay Rest in Peace, kind of like Gangstar did Big L Rest in Peace on Full Clip. Nigga. This shit is crazy. Just Blaze body that shit, man. Ill beat, you know. Amani came through. Fire verse. Fire. And then, Conway, Benny, and West, they kill it. You know what I mean? Ill ass verses from everybody on here, in my opinion. Like, this is what Amani Caesar is what a meal from Rockefeller could have been if she wasn't so fucking whack. You know what I mean? Because I think adding a woman to the Griselda roster is dope. She got that mafioso 1996 Little Kim slash Foxy Brown vibes to her. A lot of niggas say Nicki Minaj. Maybe I can see it in the voice a little bit, but I'm not a Nicki fan like that. Amani can actually rap, in my opinion. And this shit is fire. Yo, this shit is fire to me. Conway got the best verse to me. Benny got some ill verses. I'm in the ill verse. She's like, put a yellow band on my arm like I'm Lance Armstrong. Like, my nigga, this shit is amazing. 98 Sabres, the hockey team from Buffalo, you know, named after that. Shit is amazing. I fucking love this album. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Who Made the Sunshine is dope as fuck. Now, critiques. He said that the album is like if Fly God and Supreme Clientele had a baby. This would be it. I don't agree with that at all. I think Fly God and Supreme Clientele are the superior albums. Um, this album doesn't really hold a candle to those records, in my personal opinion, but that's just my opinion. Still a great project from Westside Gunn, the Shady Records debut. Top three tracks for me would have to be 98 Sabres, The Butcher and the Blade, and yes, Liz Loves Luger. I love that track. I think Amani sang beautifully on there. Wes had an overly sexual verse, but it was fucking ill. I'm a big fan of that track. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And like the Sauce, Mike rating system that I've been doing on Speaking Clout for years, I would say this would be for a strong 4 mics. Yes. Now, what I would love for this to happen is Westside Gunn release a CD, but they didn't press up the Shady record on Shady Records. They didn't press up what was She Gonna Do from Griselda, which dropped November of last year. You had to get it at the show, at the tour. What was She Gonna Do tour? But there's no tours now because of COVID. So I hope Shady presses this one up on a CD, me being a physical media collector. Conway the Machine, he pressed up King to a God for $100. I think that's ridiculous. But yo, my nigga, like this album is a great record. It's one of my favorite albums of the year. Westside Gunn, Who Made the Sunshine. Keep it if you haven't. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Mike Sears _ Speaking Cloud on Instagram, Twitter, Supervillain85. And there you have it. Westside Gunn, Who Made the Sunshine, available now. Cop that shit. Listen to that shit. Enjoy that shit. Griselda Records is the illest in my eyes. And shout out to West for delivering good product. Peace, y'all. See y'all niggas on the flip side.